with that, I'm going to begin. We're going to start with clearinghouse reporting navigation. So I have here on my shared screen a training version of our clearinghouse. This is not the website URL you would normally use. You would use the wbappsrv.waterboards.ca.gov/safer/. So that is our URL that we're working with clearinghouse reporting. So please ignore if you see something different. It's because I'm in a training environment, so I can make changes without affecting production data. So when you log in, you have your username and password. I'm going to use a water system account for this demonstration. So I'm going to log in here, and this is going to allow us to log into the clearinghouse. We have the current safer systems. This is what's going to show up first. Now, most of you will not need to do anything with safer systems. Certainly you can try to find if your system is on here. You have current statuses of at risk and human right to water. So you can feel free to peruse it, but if you don't find your system here, probably because you have a pretty good system and you don't have really any issues that we're tracking. But this safer systems is for a specific purpose, for safer, and it's not intended to be for anything else. So over here under the search tab is where I would want everybody to become familiar with, is the search tab, where you can find every water system that is available here. So this is going to contain every single water system that is here statewide, all different sizes, all different types. And this is what allows us to find water systems. Now, this is one way to access a water system. So I'm going to demo that for you right now. So under the water system name, we're going to select Palo Alto. I'm going to find a water system here that I happen to have access to in this user account. If you try to access an account that does not have, that you don't have permissions or don't have access for, then that is something that that we're going to have to, that you would have to get access for before that happens. Okay, so this water system I have permissions for. I've now been able to access it, and it's going to send me to an about page. And I'm going to resume share my screen. Okay, so this is the about page. These are the different fields that are available for City of Palo Alto. There's also two additional fields. One of them is called water quality, and the other one is called sources and facilities. So you can see the about tab has general information about a water system. You can see various bits of information we've collected over time, things that are in our database, things that we have, and then things that have not yet been filled out. Some things that are empty for some of you or not visible. So definitely something to take a look at. If you see any incorrect information, you can certainly feel free to let us know. Some folks have had questions about population. This population comes from our EAR update that we perform on an annual basis. So this annual population update is something that we receive on an annual basis. We update it, and then it shows up in the clearinghouse. They're all connected to our main database. So that is the official population we utilize for reporting. You'll also see some contact information. Contact information may or may not be accurate. We've had some issues in the past. Definitely something that we are trying to improve and trying to work on to make this a little bit more seamless, a little bit more connected to live data. There's a water quality tab here, and here you can see the various water quality samples that have been taken on, for your water system. This might not be something that loads for you. If it doesn't load, it's probably because it's restricted access. But there also could be a lot of water quality data for it. So I'm actually not sure. There's also a sources and facilities tab. Now, this is really important because in future years, we may ask you to go through your sources and facilities, make sure that they're accurate, make sure the information reported for them is also accurate as well. And that is something that may be asked for in the future. So this is just a summary of the number of active sources, whether you have an intertie or not, what treatment classification, distribution classification, different information about the water system. And then typically down here would populate a list of the sources and facilities once that is made available to water system accounts. But for most of you, you will be, oh, actually, it did load up right here. So all of the sources and facilities are listed here. All the facility names, the water type that is produced by the facility, and the facility types. There's different types of facilities that we have listed down here. So definitely something you can look at, but not something we can make any changes on currently. It's not easy to make changes currently, but it's something that we are building into the clearinghouse so you guys can see what information we already have. So going down into required reporting, which most of you will have access to, if this is a system that you have access to, you'll see a list of reports. These are the reports that have been required throughout the year. You'll see for every month, there has been some type of report type for this community water system. They've had drought and conservation reporting, and then when we released a single and aggregated urban drought and conservation reporting, that started in May, and so those reports started to come through. Each report is made available on the day after the end of the reporting period. So you can see that this reporting period ended on the 31st, and it will become available on the 1st. So it is currently read only. So you can see that, and it's a pending report. It's not past due, and it hasn't been submitted. It's a pending report. And then you can see some reports have been submitted. They've been submitted here, and it has a due date on there as well. We do track days that are late. That is a different field, but we do have that information, but we're not doing anything with that right now. There's due dates here that you can see what the due date for each of these reports are. And you can easily, in a snapshot, see what type of reports you had to do, whether they're past due, or whether they were submitted late, or if you have any pending that have yet to be looked at and have yet to be reported on. You can also edit any submitted report. You can edit them and resubmit them. And so some of these have been edited and resubmitted, and you can see that there's an extra date there when those have been edited and resubmitted. So this is the required reporting. This is probably the most important page per water system to see what water system reports are there. But I think most of you will probably access this through the My Systems tab. So that's one option. The second option would be My Systems tab. This is my preferable option for you, simply because of this My Action Items table. Now, there's nothing in the My Action Items because I don't have any past year reports that are showing for any of those water systems. So I don't have anything listed on here. However, if you had any reports that are available for reporting, or any past year reports that have not yet been reported, they would show up here in the My Action Items. You'd be able to click on it, complete the report, complete the action item, and then it'll clear out of your My Action Items table. So if you want to know if you have anything to do in the clearinghouse, what is it that I have to do? You would come into My Systems, My Action Items, and be able to view that here and see what it is that you need to do. What are the action items that you have for this system? Scrolling a little further down is one called My Reports. This table is every single report type that you have for every water system that you are responsible for. So now that we have the annual inventory reporting, you're going to see a new report type on here, annual inventory reporting. Before, we were seeing all of the other types. And so like this might be something that you might see. You might see different water systems if you have multiple water systems. And you might see different types of reports that maybe were active. Some of them are inactive. So this is how you can keep track of what types of reports you have to submit. But it is not an exhaustive list of every single reporting period that you have to report on. It's just an easy way to list all the systems and their report requirements. So this is My Reports. And if I wanted to get to the required reporting, like let's say for the city of Napa, I'm going to click on the city of Napa. And the city of Napa is going to load that required reporting page that I was showing you earlier from a different water system. And this is going to show this water system has been reporting since 2022, some months in 2022. They've also been reporting in 2023, starting in January, same as the other system, kind of similar structure here. But here there are some past due reports that are listed here. So this is how you can see if there's past due reports. I don't think the other one had any past due reports. So going back to My Systems, this is how you can access the different types of reports. You can see each water system by clicking on the water system number or the water system name. You can access that required reporting page and be able to get to see all of the different reports, reporting periods that are required for that system. Moving on to reports, this is something that's a work in progress. We don't have anything that can really be pulled out yet for you, but there's going to be an export button here that's going to allow you to pull out all of your water system data that you've been reporting. It is currently not visible. It's something that we're working on make visible for all water system user accounts and other accounts as well. So I'm going to skip over reports and move on to administration. Here's where you can see My Account. You can also see a My Account button listed on the top right corner. This allows you to change the information you've reported to us about your account. So certainly if you've been able to receive an account already, you know these are the same fields that you requested initially. And here you can make some changes. You can obviously change your name. You can change the information. You cannot change your email. Once you enter your email, the only way to get it deleted is to request for it to be deleted and then to have a new account created under a different email. That is very important. But let's say this person wanted to exit out of one of the water systems and maybe take out some stuff here. Let me see if I can take it out. Yeah, so I took out some stuff. Let me see if I can take out some of these water systems. So this would be how I would want to change the water systems that I'm associated with, and then I can save it. And what's going to happen is this does not happen right away. If I save a change request, this just goes for approval, and then one of us has to approve this change request, make sure that what you requested seems accurate. In order for this request to be accurate, you'll get an email when that request is approved. So that's how we approve accounts. That's the only thing you'll have access to on this administration table as of now. And that concludes the section on clearinghouse reporting navigations.